always had this saying, and it was a saying that I stuck with the whole year. I was here to make kids great again.
There we go.
And I
love it.
I wanted them to have the opportunity to be men.
Yes.
To be able to leave the house and not come back till the lights are on, to suck from the garden hose. I wanted to be responsible.
Clearing the creek. Oh. Clearing the creek. Hey, hey,
Welcome to the Clearing the Crease podcast, powered by Ozune. Well played. He is the Calder Trophy winner, Andrew Raycroft, the Razor, alongside Stanley Cup winner, Mike Commodore. I'm James Cybulski. Yeah, there's nothing fun about me, unlike these two rock stars. How we doing? We got a fun one. We got a special guest coming up in just a matter of moments, but just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the show, all the content we bring you between the podcast, the add-ons on social, be sure to like and subscribe. Mash that like and subscribe button. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify, or make sure you're following along, whether you're subscribed on YouTube, following along on Instagram, X, TikTok, or wherever else you are tuning in from. Kami, how goes the grind these days? You living the dream still?
Yeah. Everything's been good. I had a little event last week. I just got back. I kind of missed most of the games last night, but I was listening to them on the radio. I was up in Calgary for 5-6 days. I had an event with Chris Pronger on Thursday night that went well. It was basically up on stage, BSing a little bit and having a few beers. And then I hung out with my father for, I don't get up there much anymore. Mom's overseas with her friends on some girls' trip. Whatever kind of girls trip you go on when you're turning 79. So she's over there, and my old man's by himself. And so I hung out with him for a few days. It's amazing, when I guess I never really thought about it. My parents have been together they're turning, my mom's turning 79. My dad's turning, they're 1947 birthdays. My dad has been cooked for 55 years, he told me. So usually when I go home, there's all kinds of food in the fridge and like all homemade, you know what I mean? Like home-cooked meals. That fridge was bare. And then on my way out, it was kind of funny. Like I threw my sheets and stuff from my bed in the washer, and I had to go to the airport. I'm like, hey, Dad, when when the washer's done, just throw the sheets in the dryer. And he looked at me like I had
you do that
100%. I'm like, do you know how to do that? He's like, I'm like, get in here. I'm like, hey, I got it all set up, Dad. All you got to do is hit this power button and then hit the play button, and you're good to go. He's like, oh, okay, I could do that. I'm like, I'll see you next week. So that was my last few days.
That's great.
Yeah, there's so much. There's so much there between you still doing laundry at your parents' house as a middle-aged man.
Yep.
Dad not knowing how to work the dryer or the kitchen
clue.
For that matter.
Nope.
Everything is happening. Razor, how about you? What's going on in Boston?
What do we got? Well, we got back from the smoke last weekend, and it's been quiet. We got like just regular stuff on the weekends with the kids and little golf. The weather hasn't been great, but I did get out and play some a little bit. So this is like the quietest. The 3 weeks in May are quiet, nothing for me. So this is
nice.
Like the best time of year. Cut the grass, hang out. That's it.
Again, as I've said, a 2-round run in the playoffs.
That's the best one.
Just enough.
Yep.
Just enough. Okay, there's
one.
A lot to get to. Some big Leafs news happening as the Oilers turn. That's going down as well. But let's bring in our special guest because he has been going viral, not just because he's a champion, but because of his beard when he's all clean shaven now. My God. Friend of the show, Todd Bertuzzi, joins us, a champion from the Cambridge Redhawks. How about this? A champion, Bert. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm doing awesome. Thanks. I appreciate you guys having me on, Razor, Kami, and you too, C-Ball. Yeah, it's been a heck of a week around here. I've had to do a lot of babysitting, but I'll tell you right now, it's been all worth it. It was a heck of a fun season for sure.
Bert, I just want to bring it back to the beginning of the season because it kind of caught me not off guard. It was not off guard, but I didn't know what your plans were. How did you originally get into the head coaching gig? How did that come about? Like, what interested you about it? Like from the get go, and then we'll get into your season, which was unreal.
Yeah, you're well familiar about bouncing around,
Yep.
Tommy, about city to city.
I get it.
Can't get comfortable. Gotta check this place out, this place out.
Yep.
I bought a Sprinter. I traveled around North America. I went skiing and all this. And I got a call one day on one of my 24-hour drives from one of my buddies, Fitzy boy,
Yep.
Mike George, about an opportunity of maybe coming in and maybe stopping the bus a little bit and maybe parking myself for a year. And it was a coaching job with the Cambridge Redhawks. They were a newer team in the area. They used to be in Guelph, and one thing led to another, led to 5-6 beers, 2 bottles of wine, and I decided to say, yeah, sure,
True
I'll
serum.
do it.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. So, no, I'm glad I did it. It was, you know what? It was fun going back and refreshing the brain and getting it moving, getting it active, and being in a little bit more of a routine. So it was quite the winter.
How great was the season? How great were the kids? And then how good you talked about babysitting the last week, Bert. What do the kids do nowadays when they win championships? What does that look like?
Razor, you know what? I was fortunate. My age group, 16 to 20. This is a different generation. It took hours and hours and hours of trying to figure out what kind of coach I'm going to have to be with this group. And I honestly went back on my past. I grabbed every single coach I've ever had from junior to the NHL, and I tried to mash in one coach that I thought would be perfect fit for this age group. And to be honest with you, it was coming in and setting a culture and setting the tone on how things are going to have to be handled. And I always had this saying, and it was a saying that I stuck with the whole year. I was here to make kids great again.
There we go.
And I
love it.
I wanted them to have the opportunity to be men.
Yes.
To be able to leave the house and not come back till the lights are on, to suck from the garden hose. I wanted to be responsible. I wanted to be responsible for their actions. I wanted them to come into my office and figure out why they're not playing more, what's going on in their game. And we just struck such a great relationship, myself and the boys. And then one thing led to another, and we got off to an unbelievable start. And as it was going on, I knew we had something brewing. And then unfortunately, we had to make a couple trades because it was very hard when we had to make a couple trades because I got close to a couple of the kids, but we needed to get a little bit bigger. So it was just moves like that ended up putting us in a situation to end up being champions in the end. But it was a heck of a lot of fun. I had a very good staff in Mike Rusk, Nick Spalling, and Jeff Butt and Rob. And it just kept on going. I just the amount of belief that they end up having in themselves and how much work they actually put in. I think they put in more work than some junior A teams did. And I think that's why we were successful.
So tell me this, for a guy who is often credited with the phrase, "It is what it is," what's that like trying to tell a kid that they've been traded or they've been cut?
Well, I'll be honest
Especially
with
at
you,
a young age too, right?
Yeah, well, it was emotional for me. I had to bring in the GM and everyone to do it. I couldn't muster up the that part in order to do that to kids.
Wait. You're talking about toughening kids up, and then here you are going, oh, no, the hard stuff, I'm deferring to somebody else here.
Well, telling a kid that he's been traded from a powerhouse team to an average team is not fun to do.
Yeah.
He put so much into it for 3 months, and you build relationships with these kids and even healthy scratching kids. Like it took a lot of learning for me to get through this season because I didn't like healthy scratching kids. I've been in this situation. My son's been in it, and and I know what the feeling's like, and I hate that I had to do that, but they're the ones who signed up to play big boy hockey, so I had to make some big boy moves, and it was tough at the start, but I sure got hard pretty quick.
Big Bert, 61-6 was your overall record. That's correct, right? Yeah.
What?
61-6, and honestly, the refs screwed us on a couple, but you know what? I'll let it go now.
6 losses.
6 losses.
Yeah.
Officiating.
What?
Yeah, you know what it was? It wasn't hard to motivate these kids, man. It was this group was special, and the only thing I had to do was come up with different phrases and different stories throughout my career that I've been in or I failed at, and it was just a fun, motivating season, and to watch these kids excel and to do something, accomplish something that no one thought they were going to do was pretty cool feeling.
Bert, what now? How do you follow up 61-6?
I'm looking for 50-0 to start, and I think I'd like to run the playoffs again. I got my whole team coming back. We lose our captain, our assistant captain Owen Yeager, and Kyler Morgan, and then we basically have our whole team coming back, and then we've already in the mix of stocking the cupboard right now with a couple big studs right now, locking them in, and we're going to run this back and see if we can do it again.
When you lost some guys, Big Bird, like I'm assuming some are to age, and like did some of the kids maybe move on to the OHL or something like that?
Yeah, we got 2 kids that aged out. The 2 older guys, they're our overagers. We actually, we had, I think it was the 3rd youngest team in the league.
Oh.
We had 17 rookies.
Oh wow.
That's why I'm getting everyone back. But we're going to lose Alex Forrest to the Kitchener Rangers. Shout out to the Rangers. They're heading to the Memorial Cup out in beautiful Kelowna.
That's right.
And I think they got a solid chance at competing and winning there. And then we got Parker Smith heading back home to my hometown, Sudbury, to play with the Sudbury Wolves. Nice. And then we'll wait and see what happens with the OHL draft and what kids aren't quite ready to make it, as we're affiliate with the OHL. And we'll see what 16-year-old kids we end up getting to fill in the rest of the spots.
Big Bird,
last
hold
Go
on.
ahead, Go ahead, Tommy. Yeah.
I mean, even just we talked once on the phone there last week after. I just wanted to congratulate you and looking at you now and listen to you talk kind of in person, if you want to call this in person. You're obviously very passionate about this. You're into it. Like, do you have like what's your plan moving forward? I know you're coming back next year, but like, do you have any idea where you'd like to take this? Do you see coaching as like, moving on up the ladder? Is that something maybe, or maybe you don't know yet?
You know what? I'm not sure I know yet. I know I'm already prepping for this year, and the amount of work that goes into getting a season ready and the length of the season and how much stuff you have to deal with and all that kind of stuff. It was long, but man, I actually had a lot of fun.
Awesome.
I had the reward was watching these kids' faces succeed. And I absolutely love it. And it drove me every day to figure out solutions, how to solve problems. And it's probably something that I can see myself, if it's the right spot in the right place, maybe trying to move up to the OHL or we'll see whatever comes my way. But I'm going to focus on this year. I promised the kids I'd come back and try to redo this. So I'm a man of my word to them. And then hopefully we do the same thing, and we could talk about maybe me moving on to the ranks following year. Maybe.
I'm thinking Cambridge one more year, and then let's get you coaching the Leafs. Hey, let's skip that OHL.
I don't think so.
Straight to the top.
Actually, you know what? The only thing good there is I can handle the media anywhere I go. Anyway.
Oh my God!
Would you ever?
Right to the top.
No one's had to take no one's had to take more shrapnel than me. So
okay,
and I love it.
All this talk aside about winning a championship and turning, hardening kids and toughening them up and all of it. But tell me this. the beard. I'm seeing stuff that popped up on social media. Todd Bertuzzi, unrecognizable. Dude, you were training for a mall set. Like, did you use this beard? Like, and you took it off. Like, how long did it take to grow that monster?
Buddy, it's amazing. At 51, I still get clickbaits for doing nothing. Nothing. I'm either so loved or so hated that whatever I do, someone's popping off on me for whatever I do. So that's why I actually don't give a shit anymore. I'll say what I want. I'll do what I want. And you know what? The beard did come off. It was if I was staying in Kitchener for a full season in a winter in Ontario, I was going to put the beard on for sure to keep warm.
Grizzly Adams has got nothing on you, my friend.
No, well, it did take a life of its own, but no, it was fun. The boys loved it.
Yeah, it was glorious to see. I mean, especially Commie and I were talking about this a few weeks ago because, obviously haven't not seen you for a bit, and then all of a sudden you see this thing pop up, and it's like, hey, Commie, we were both like, holy crap, did you see?
Yeah, Big Bert looks great. He's scaring those kids in Cambridge.
Like 2004 Commie there.
On steroids.
That was great. That was a lot of fun, especially seeing some of our kids' patchy ass beards.
I bet.
They don't grow beards like they used to. At 14, I already had a full beard.
Yeah. Well, you look at every picture from the 70s and the 80s, and like every teenager has like a giant beard. It's different times now. Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
This is awesome. Nice to be able to do this. And I think all of us, I think, are really happy for you. And
definitely.
You deserve it. So excited to see what happens when you run it back next year.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. I actually watch you guys often. You guys entertain me. You guys are in the know of what's going on and all that. Very educational. People haven't missed out on TV and all that. You entertain. You guys do a heck of a job. So
thank you.
Keep on doing it. Appreciate you having me on. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Big Bert.
Thank you.
Congrats
you.
again.
Razor Commie, you know what that is? That is an Ozoon.
Well played. Yeah, well played season right there.
Yes, there he is.
61-6.
He is a champion.
61-6.
61-6. My
I'm going to
God.
the Pink Pony Club now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on my way.
That's right. Enjoy yourself. You earned it.
Todd Bertuzzi joining us here on the Clearing the Crease podcast. Well, I guess we might as well just keep the show going here. Because,
Go.
Yeah, just roll into it.
We don't have guests anymore, Seaball, so we got to figure it out.
We'll do it live. Here we go. And just a reminder, everybody, the Clearing the Crease podcast, powered by Ozoon.net. The road to the Stanley Cup is open. The clearest road to winning big is to play on Ozoon.net. Ozoon has you covered for all props, game lines, futures from now until the Stanley Cup final and beyond. So make your power play. Score big with Ozoon. Well played. Okay, let's dive in. As we record this, this coming down literally moments before we hit the record button, but it's official in Toronto. I don't think anybody was really surprised about this, but nevertheless, it is still a huge talking point. Craig Berube out in Toronto with the Maple Leafs. Razor, let's defer to a guy who wore the blue and white.
Yes.
We had a lot of conversations with former players about what was happening with the organization in recent weeks. This isn't a surprise, but how do we feel about this one?
No, not a surprise. Felt like it needed to be done, especially when you bring in Mats and Chayka, and you've got this whole new thing, and you've got to cater. It feels like to some of these players, the big boys on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the way the last couple of years went with Berube, it's clean sweep time there. Have to clean sweep it. No surprise. The question is it Austin Matthews' uncle or is it his dad who is the new head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs?
To touch on that, I got to be on. I mean, I'm not surprised. I don't think Craig Berube is going to have a hard time getting another job if he wants it. I think a little mark against him maybe, but at the end of the day, it seemed like a bit of a mess. I am a little concerned though, because, the Leafs just did this GM thing and brought in an unwanted GM. Now they got rid of their coach or unhirable. Are they going to be looking for an unhirable coach, which leads me back to when we were talking to the Illuminati Babs? I mean, they can't bring him back, can they? I mean, I'm a little bit nervous right now. I'm a little bit nervous. So
Should be. They're still paying him, aren't they? They just put him back on, like they just plug him back in. They don't even have to do the direct deposit anymore.
Probably just sign him to a new extension. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm with you guys. It's maybe if you're going to clean house, I guess you might as well clean house. But like everything else that the Leafs do, I'm very interested, more so this year than others, just because of the Pelly and now the Chayka and how that went. I mean, who is coming in? But like you said, maybe it's going to be one of Austin Matthews' relatives. That would make some sense.
That's a good point. Who wants this job?
Yeah,
right.
There's that too.
Like you go back through, like Craig Berube was the most wanted coach in the history of the NHL out of St. Louis, coming to Toronto. And now he's got like, it is just a small little mark. Cause I don't think when people go to Toronto, it actually ends up mattering. Cause everyone knows this is what ends up happening when you go there. It's really incredible. It is. And you know, again, we talked to a bunch of Leafs guys the last few weeks, and it really is amazing how it continues to happen. When you go to Toronto, you end up going out like this, inevitably, no matter who you are, even Craig Berube. And now he's got to
look at the list, Razor, to that point. Like
unbelievable. Pat
Quinn, Paul Maurice,
everybody. And then go through the players that it's the same thing. And I'm fascinated who comes in here, because this might not be as wanted or coveted. They're not even that good right now. Like, who wants this job and who are they going to get? Interesting. And now the other thing too is this opens up. Craig Berube's got to be wanted by teams, and maybe teams that have coaches right now think that Berube's an upgrade. How does that play out?
Okay,
so that segues. Yeah. Go ahead, Z-Ball.
Yep. No, I was just going to say to and Kami, you can piggyback off this, but does this not just speak to just how devastating? And I think of that scene from Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, where the villain pulls out the heart of that one person. And I just think that loss to the Panthers last year in the playoffs, like just what that did, not just for the players, but what it did for the entire organization. Like, this team just never recovered. Obviously, losing Mitch Marner had a huge impact, taking a player like that 100-point player out of the lineup. But just the tailspin that this organization has gone into, where you had a coach who clearly, I think there was a point watching his body language at some point last season, there was almost like, I've lost this group, like this group, and it's not necessarily a reflection of his coaching. It's just those players were completely shell shocked and still never over that playoff devastation from last year. That's what it seemed like. That's what it seems like, how this all played out, Connie.
Oh, yeah. I don't think you're wrong. And you know what? It actually kind of reminds me a little bit of, now obviously it's different level, about what Big Bert just talked about. And he went in there and his biggest thing was building culture. But like, and Big Bert has his way of going about it and make guys accountable and stuff like that. And that was his, he's doing that with kids, which is, everybody says that, well, you need a good culture, but actually building it and doing it, I think is a very hard thing to do. And when you look back,
what is culture for both you guys? What is culture? What is that?
I think it's just an accountability. And if I'm going to make it simple, it's just like, hey, there's a certain expectation you need to, whether it's on the ice or off the ice, where, this expectation needs to be met, or you're out of here, or you're in shit, or whatever. And I think that's something, and what pops in my mind, and I know it's just a little thing, and it had nothing really to do with the game, but this guy's one of the, supposed to be one of the leaders, signed up long-term for big cash in Toronto. And it's just a simple little thing. It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but you remember when Nylander was giving the finger to the camera? That's
culture.
That's culture. That's like, I'm sitting here watching the game and, I'm giving the finger to the camera. I don't really care is what that kind of shows me. And I'm just going to do whatever I want. And is what that kind of, I'm not I'm hurt. I'm not playing this guy. I should be invested in this game, paying attention, not worried about the camera and giving the camera the finger. That's just, and I understand that's just a little thing, but I feel like if it's happening up there in the press box when it's, this shouldn't even, it's got to be, something's got to be going on in the room. So maybe that, I would guess that's probably where Todd Bertuzzi failed, is he couldn't get these guys moving in the right direction, the same direction. And I guess for
Craig Berube.
Or sorry, what did I said? Did I say Bertuzzi?
Bert.
Sorry. No, Bert did not fail.
That's 5 years from now.
Sorry. Yeah.
Bert will be fired in 5 years from now.
Not Bert. I got him mixed up there, but Craig Berube in Toronto. So yeah, it's
Can't wait to see. It's going to be another story. Whoever they hire is a massive 3-week story. It's never gift that never ends.
Oh.
Okay, so to the segue, Kami, I think you were expecting this, but do the Oilers now
That's what I was
pivot
expecting.
and look at Berube? Because like the talk right now, what a terrible look for the Oilers, as they have been blocked. According to reports, they've been denied permission to talk to Bruce Cassidy from Vegas, who they let go of, and you've got Knobloch still employed, twisting in the wind. And so is that a pivot? Or what do you like? Where do you go with this one? What a terrible look, Kami. You just spent some time in Alberta while things are still fresh.
Yeah.
What, like, imagine this.
Yeah, I mean, the Oilers are you have Knobloch, which is one of McDavid's boys, and you take him to the finals twice in a row, and this, I think it's a little bit, I mean, Razor obviously was all over the Oilers all year. I thought it was a lot to ask to have the Oilers make another run at it after just going to the finals twice. That's a lot of hockey. I mean, when you look at the Oilers, I haven't heard much. You know, I'm up in Alberta now. I'm in Calgary, but still, there's Oilers fans there, and they talk about the Oilers. I don't think really Knobloch's name has come up as like ever being like it's always the D-man and the goaltending. So it's like, I don't know if that's really I mean, well, at the end of the day, you know, sports isn't about being about fair, but I don't know if him being, you know, maybe getting gassed out of there and bringing in Cassidy. I mean, I don't know what that changes really, other than maybe a new coach bump. But it's like, look, if you're gonna have these goalies in this decor, I'm not sure what else you do. So, yeah, like I said, that kind of caught me off guard, right? Because that just happened right before we came on air here this morning. So, I don't know if that's a great move. But I guess we'll see how it pans out.
There was, you know, like even McDavid and Draisaitl at different times of the year talked about their system. They talked about they got smoked by Tampa, and they're like, well, Tampa's coach, you know, like kind of brought up the system and the way they play. And there's been those rumblings. I think, of course, it comes down to roster. Of course, it comes down to the fact they haven't been able to figure out a goaltender, and they make them deal for Tristan Jarry out of this whole thing like that. Those are like the big blunders, but there is such a small window for this group that if you can get a guy like Knobloch came in as a guy from juniors and from the AHL, like you can get a guy who won a Stanley Cup. Now that changes things. Whether it's Cassidy, whether it's Berube, you have 2 years. Both of these guys have a 2 to 4 year time span on their coaching, especially Bruce Cassidy. We saw it in Vegas, saw it in Boston. Like he wears you out. He will wear players out. The way he coaches, the way he leans on guys, the way he communicates. It's 2 to 4 years, and that's all the Oilers have at this point. So they're desperate, and that's the real word in the end of this. They're desperate, and I think they'll do whatever they absolutely have to do, and that's why it goes back to the coaches and all hands on deck this summer. So I could see it happening. It makes sense to me, and the fact that you're just bringing a Stanley Cup winning coach in there who's going to tell everybody what to do. You go to accountability and culture. McDavid and Draisaitl are going to have to fall in line too. They might actually have to play some defense if you get a Cassidy in there. Like it will be different, and they might be craving that at this point too, guys. Like they might be at the point where they're saying, "We need somebody in here to tell me what to do. I need a coach to tell me what to do." Rather than me just doing whatever I want. They might be craving that culture too, and that might be why they're looking at a Cassidy or now. I mean, I don't think they're looking at a Berube yet, but he's out there.
Well, if you had the choice, if you had the choice,
I think Cassidy fits better for what the Edmonton Oilers need. It seems perfectly obvious to me. They just need some defensive structure. Like Bouchard, you're not allowed to play the way you want to play. Like it's simple as that. Like Cassidy's not going to let Bouchard just boost bomb it up all over the place.
95 points, right?
It's as simple as that. Like just having that guy do that, I think Cassidy does make a lot of sense for the Oilers.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Cassidy fan ever. That I don't know him though either. But Yeah, at the end of the day,
I'm not huge, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, those are all very good points about making those guys accountable. And like you said, I could, with the big boys, play a little bit defense. And the Bouchard thing is obviously, and look, I know he puts up he's 95 points, but it's like, man, I get it. That's a lot of points.
At what cost?
Right, but I mean, is Bouchard a better player though if he's putting up 65 to 70, but he's playing a little D? I mean, the argument could be made that that's better for the team than him just freewheeling it there, captain casual once in a while. Yeah, maybe he's putting up a couple extra points, taking risks, but he's getting drilled in his own end. So yeah, those are all good, really good points.
Yeah, no, I think that it's certainly valid in terms of what you're talking about. Razor, I want to stick in the Pacific. The reports based on if we're led to believe all of them, but looks like Ryan Johnson is expected to take over in Vancouver as the new head in charge with the Canucks. He's been with the organization for
long time.
For like 13 years now. Yeah. And I think I think the internal fan choice was sort of give this guy an opportunity to promote, and then they've interviewed everyone and anyone, but it looks like they are going to settle on Ryan Johnson. Razor, you played with Ryan. With Vancouver going back years ago. What can you tell us about RJ?
Unbelievable. Perfect hire. Like he is exactly what you wanted in a teammate, exactly what you wanted in a person, exactly what you wanted in a leader, a culture, accountability, all of those things. He wasn't the best player by any means, but he was willing to do anything, showed up early, left late, was personable, cared about everybody. All the things that we talk about, great hockey players, great teammates. That's RJ. And he's put a lot of time in, put a ton of time in that organization. He has, and if the Twins get involved, he's got an ability to tell them and be honest with them because of them playing together. They were part of that leadership group on the team I was on. They would challenge each other in different ways, but they would complement each other in a lot of ways as well, because RJ did things that the Twins couldn't, and obviously the Twins did things RJ couldn't. So it makes a ton of sense to me, organizational. Seaball, you've talked a lot, you're being out west, like being likable. Those three guys will be likable, right? The fans will get behind those guys. The fans will believe in those guys. The one thing that I would put a question mark on, or just be wondering what comes in behind, is the business side. Who's running the cap? Who's running the numbers? Because RJ is a smart guy and he's been through hockey a lot, but he's not a lawyer either. And when it comes to like the data and the analytics of salary cap, I'm curious who's running all of that with those three guys. But
bring in Commie.
Yeah.
No, that's it. That's what you do.
That.
I mean, I was thinking about calling RJ, like, hey, buddy, you guys got a pretty good setup here. What do you need? What do you need? Can I set up golf? Can I, I'd love to hang out and have lunch with you guys once a month if you need me to come out west.
How's the cab? I couldn't tell you anything about it, but I've got us around for 4.
Looks pretty good right now. It looks pretty good right now. Yeah. You guys are
good.
all
All set at Capilano. I know RJ a little bit too. RJ went to North Dakota, so I know him a little bit. Not great. I never played with him or anything, but a very likable guy. Very well liked, I think, wherever he was. I know a little bit because one of my buddies was coaching there in Abbotsford. They've been very successful in Abbotsford, right? They won the Calder Cup. Was it last year?
They did last year,
So, hey, look, a Calder Cup is a Calder Cup, and RJ was running that. So, but like you said, he's going to know everybody there. He's been there. I would imagine he's seen what's kind of gone on, and I know things haven't been real smooth sailing in the background there, up top for sure, over the last couple of years. Now, I guess judging from our the comments we get on our Instagram feed, dealing with those owners could be very challenging. From what some of those fans say, the ownership could be a problem. So hopefully RJ can smooth that over and find a way forward with that. So we'll see.
Yes, you could argue that the fan base has been tired of being Aquilini for the last 15 plus years. So, but Razor, you talked about, you didn't see that when you were there from your experience.
Correct. Yeah. So it's more like 10 years, I think.
There you go.
Mike Gillis was there, so it was like we were insulated pretty good. But yes, maybe on the up and up out in Vancouver. I feel bullish about those three guys.
There we go. So a fresh start. We'll see where it goes. But, for years with ownership, it's almost like the end of one of those Scooby-Doo episodes, right? When they capture the villain and it's like, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. In this particular case, if it wasn't for you meddling owners here. So we'll see where it goes in Vancouver. Okay, time for your fan question of the week. This is where you hit up the hashtag AskCTC, whether on YouTube, Instagram, or other social channels. And this week we've got one from Go Habs 8918, and this one comes from Travis in Calgary. There you go. That was his handle. So, James, you've been inadvertently part of my life for the last half decade by the NHL video games. So, well, thanks very much, Travis. I appreciate it. His question is for all of us, or specifically, Commie, Razor, any funny stories of being recognized out in the wild?
Tommy's
I feel like your hair.
Tommy's
Yeah,
the most
your hair.
recognizable
Yes.
person.
I know. I've been thinking about this. To be honest, the question came in a little bit late. So in the back of my mind, I've been thinking about this for the last 20, 30 minutes because I know there are definitely some examples. So I'm trying to drum them up.
I just think of your Metallica concert.
Well, the Metallica concert as well, and there was one. When you walk around town, when it all. 99% of it comes back. Like the Carolina run was awesome too. The back-to-back and was on TV and everything. But like Calgary with that coming out of nowhere and all that. The Metallica obviously, but there was also a pretty funny. I mean, our question asker said that he's from Calgary. There used to be a place called the French Maid in Calgary. So
might be familiar with it. Might be familiar with it. Yeah.
When I was playing and living in playing in Calgary, living there, I mean, I wasn't there for very long, so I was always at the International Hotel, and the French Maid was basically right out the back door. Now, I didn't go.
That's where all your loonies went.
I swear to God, I'm not a big strip joint guy. I swear to God, I would be honest and tell you if I am, but I think it was after we beat. It was Detroit or San Jose. I don't know, one of the two. I'm with a couple of the Black Aces, and we win in 6. I think it was Detroit. And so I'm like, we're going out. And so we go out. I'm like, hey, let's go have a couple beers. We haven't gone to the French Maid yet. So they're like, yeah, okay. It's like 2 or 3 of us. And I didn't even really think about it. I'm like, let's just go have a couple beers at French Maid, and we'll go on from there. And we walked into the French Maid. And it was like, I mean, obviously there were women up on stage and they all looked great and everything. We weren't in there for like 3 seconds, and it was like all heads turned. Nobody, the strippers were coming off the stage. I'm firing out autographs left and right. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? I'm on stage waving to everybody. People are cheering. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. There's strippers all over the place. Anyways, it was a pretty good. We didn't stay there for too long. We were there for like 20, 30 minutes. And I mean, it was not what I expected when I walked into there. And the guys were loving it, obviously. And then I'm like, okay, let's get out of here. This is a lot of work here right now. So that was the first thing that comes to mind for me.
For the Aces, Commie. For the Aces.
The Aces had a good time. Yeah. The Aces had
when I die, I want to come back as Commie for that 2 months when he was in fucking Calgary on that run. That's it. I want to come back on that run. I'm not saying it. I don't have a story.
It is amazing. It is amazing how 18. What did you play? 18 games with the Flames?
18 in the regular season and 20 in the playoffs. Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
So 40 games, and you are like former Flames
no
legend.
Goals. 4 assists total.
Amazing. I don't know if any of us are topping that. So we'll just leave that one at that one. Okay. Winding down. Time for Don't Puck It Up. Let me just throw this one here to kick things off. My Don't Puck It Up this week, guys, I'm going to bring it back to the Professional Women's Hockey League. I'm going to bring it back to the PWHL, to the face that runs the place, Marie-Philippe Poulin. She scored the game winner to punch Montreal's ticket into the Walter Cup finals in the P-Dub. She's won 3 Olympic gold medals. She's been banged up this season, but still plays big. Scored the game winner again, Captain Clutch. She's done it all except win a PWHL title. She's 35. More expansions coming here, boys. So it's not getting any easier as the league gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Montreal Victoire. This is your chance. Ottawa bounced you last year. You got a chance to exercise the demon. Marie-Philippe Poulin, Montreal Victoire. Don't puck it up.
I like it. I like it. What's expansion? Detroit? Did I read that?
Detroit. There's talk of Vegas.
Wow.
There's talk of San Jose. I'm surprised that Hamilton. There's talk.
Yeah, Hamilton. I saw Hamilton.
Lots of different rumors, but it looks like Hamilton and Vegas are the next two based on reports this week. Yeah, who knows? I thought Alberta would have got a team, but I thought Denver was a lock, and this is why I do not make decisions.
Yeah, no team in Calgary, huh? I don't know if they really. Well, who knows? They got lots going on there with the new arena and everything, anyways. So, I'll just go with an easy one. Edmonton Oilers, don't puck this up. This thing gets leaked. Now we got questions, and we've already talked. We talk about it all the time on how Edmonton's on the clock. So I'll take the easy puck it up this week. Connor McDavid's got 2 years left. You got this year, and then maybe some of the next anyways. Otherwise, because you're not going to want to lose him for nothing, obviously. I think it's next year, and then it's questioned, or then he might be looking to get out. But don't puck this up. If you're going to make a change, make it the right one. Find a goaltender. Get Boosh playing some defense. Let's tell him the goal is 60 points and good D. Let's do that. So don't puck it up, Oilers.
I had a couple random ones, but I'm going low-hanging fruit. Don't puck it up, Toronto Maple Leafs. You fire Greg Berube. This is just too easy. It's the story. It is give us actually, and the angle I'm going to take on this, guys, is give us something off the board. Don't give us something to talk about for weeks. You go way off the board. Someone we never heard of, some guy coaching in the GTHL. And give us something to really rip the Leafs about at this point, because we might as well go there. So don't puck it up, Leafs. Make this one interesting.
Ooh, maybe they hire Gavin McKenna's mom, so can buy everybody around.
Hey, yeah.
There you go.
What are we going to talk quickly? What
you want to hit that? Well played or not, Commie?
You know what? I need to.
Gavin McKenna's mom buying booze for minors.
On the surface, that's definitely not well played, and it's not a good look, and the timing ain't great. I'll be honest with all that. But at the same time, too, 21 I do think is a little bit high. But at the end of the day, that's where I need more details on what exactly it was, and when I'm not. I'd like to know more about it. On the surface, it's not well played, but if it's getting a couple beers after a weekend series, and are they saying it was the night he cold cocked that guy?
It was like going into the bar. Yeah.
Look, hey, I'll be totally honest. You know what? I'm going to say well played. My mother never bought me booze, but I can't sit here and lie. I got about 5 misdemeanors a year when I was in college for going into the bars. I was 17. I left. I was 20 years old. I was never of age. I didn't know there was nowhere else for me to go. What was I going to do? Sit at home by myself? So I'm going to go well played. Good job, Mom.
Well played. Yeah. Well played, Mom.
18-year-old me would have said well played if a parent was willing to give me a drink. Played. Oh man. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, you're giving my kid booze? Come on. But teenage me? Oh my God, that's the best parent ever. You're hooking me up with alcohol right now. I don't have to make swamp water from something from my parents' liquor cabinet, and filling it up with water. Exactly. Yes, there is the argument for safer. On that note, us three moral compasses, we're going to say goodbye for this week. A reminder to like and subscribe on YouTube for more Clearing the Crease content powered by Ozune.net. Follow along Apple, X, Instagram, TikTok, because the road to the Stanley Cup is open, and the clearest route to winning big is to play on Ozune.net. Ozune's got you covered for all props, game lines, futures from now until the Stanley Cup and beyond. So make your power play and score big with Ozune. Well played. He's Razor. He's Commie. Thanks to Big Bird. I'm Cybulski. Our producer, Stu Sohm. We'll see you next week right here on the Clearing the Crease podcast, powered by Ozune. Well played.